Hello, my beautiful Virgos. How's everyone doing today? Let me see if I can just adjust this lighting here a little bit. It's a little bit dark. I can't seem to get the lighting right. It's crazy, you know. I went to film school many, many moons ago. I can't seem to get the lighting right. There's natural light in here. There's artificial light. There's light from the camera. There's all this stuff. But as long as you guys can hear me, it's all good. Welcome to my channel. I'm the Divine Comedian, or Kristen, if you'd like. I'm an intuitive tarot card reader as well as a medium, so I will be getting some channeled messages today as well as some oracle messages here. I got tons of decks with oracle messages here, so I'm going to be getting a couple of those for you guys before we break into the tarot. So while you're settling down and taking a couple deep breaths and focusing your energy, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I get more videos up there and running. And you can also help me to grow my channel and get other messages out there for you to reach other people. So here we go. Okay, so what does Virgo need to know today concerning their life? Spirit, please, and thank you so much. First one. I care and love myself enough to stop making excuses. My relationships are growing happier and more fulfilling every day. I focus on what I can control and make peace with what I can't. Okay, so those are some pretty powerful messages, okay? Especially with this one here with I care about myself enough to stop making excuses. So some of you may be making some excuses in your life right now about not moving forward towards something, not making the changes that you need to make, and you're making excuses. But right now it's, Spirit saying, care about yourself and love yourself enough to stop making these excuses. Sometimes we tell ourselves that we need to stay in certain situations because of certain reasons. It's been a long time. I've dedicated a lot of time. I have a lot of things invested in this, but you're not happy. So Spirit's basically saying, stop making excuses. The excuses, oh, this person has problems, or this, it's because of this, it's because of that. No, those are just excuses. There needs to be, a concrete reason as to why you're staying in a situation. That could be with love. It could be with a relationship. It could be with basically pretty much anything. Okay, so the next is my relationships are growing happier and more fulfilling every day. So this is something that you need to tell yourself. This is something that you need to tell yourself, that your relationships are growing happier and more fulfilling every day. Even if you need to stand in front of your mirror and you need to repeat this, affirmation every single day, so that, even if you don't feel right now that your relationships are growing happier and more fulfilling every day, you're going to be able to manifest that good, positive energy towards you when you start repeating these affirmations. Literally look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself in the eyes, and repeat, my relationships are growing happier and more fulfilling every day, and you will see over time that they will be. I focus on what I can control and make peace with what I can't. And this is the thing. We can't control people. We can't expect them to change. We can't control the environment around us. Think of it this way. You're stuck in traffic. There's an accident that happened above. Now you're, down the road somewhere, and the cops have the street, closed off. There's nothing that you can do about that. There's no way that you could have anticipated something like that happening just as much as the person who got involved in the accident could anticipating something like that happening. So you can't control the situation. That's just a very small thing. You can't control how somebody walks in the door after, they've had a hard day after work. You can't control, how your children are going to react to you when you set certain boundaries with them. You can't control how certain family members are going to do things. It's just, it's just one of those things where you just can't control everything, and you have to make peace with that. Because when you make peace with the things that you can't control, that's when you stop making excuses and start to love yourself more. Because sometimes when we can't control things, we tend to beat ourselves up, and we tend to try to find ways to make things better, but we have to remember that we can't focus on that. Obviously, if it's something really important, that you can control, like your attitude, the way you show up, the things that you say, the way that you handle things, then that's something you can control. But you can't control how someone's going to react to something, and you can't control what somebody's going to say, okay? Sorry about the noise in the background. My cat is playing with a ball. It's so cute. All right, so let's put these to the side, okay? Let's see what we need to release here. So what does Virgo need to release? What does Virgo need to release? Spirit, please, and thank you. What does Virgo need to release? We got 2 cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards from each oracle deck. What does Virgo need to release? Well, surrender. Actually, these are surrender cards. What needs to be surrendered? What needs to be surrendered for Virgo? Okay, so we have the first card out. Surrender to receiving support and love. Allow the love and support of others in rather than trying to handle everything yourself. This can take the pressure off and simultaneously nurture you. See, that's what I'm saying. You know, a lot of the times when we put the burdens of the outcome of a particular situation on ourselves, and we're putting in all the work, expecting that if we put in a lot of work, people will magically see that and change. No. Of course, you can ask for, you know, love and support in others, but do it with people that are healthy. Do it with people that are maybe outside the situation that can help you, and they're going to love you and nurture you, and they're going to support you. You know, sometimes, you know, when you're dealing, you know, with close relationships, we tend to turn to family, we tend to turn to friends, but sometimes those people aren't, you know, on our side, or sometimes they can create more conflict, especially if we make decisions to work out a particular situation, or we decide that, you know, we're just going to be at peace with the way the situation is and stay in it if that's what's more convenient for us. And then you've got somebody saying, well, you know, you said this and you said that, and I told you this was going to happen. Nobody needs that. Okay, so make sure that when you're allowing love and support to come in from others, make sure it's coming from healthy people. Okay. Surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions and what to do. That's exactly what I just said. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. You have to be confident in the choices that you make. Don't rely on the opinions of other people around you. In other words, trust yourself. Trust spirit. Trust your intuition. Trust that you're on the right path. You don't have to constantly keep, you know, looking for confirmation from other people around you that you're on the right path, okay? Because only you know your life. Only you know what it feels like to be you when your feet hit the ground every morning when waking up, all right? Surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem, okay? So be open. Sometimes it's not just about taking one particular path that you've been trained to take, or the path of how other people have done things. Sometimes you need to, you know, to have those creative measures in your life and different ways and different approaches of doing things so that you can get to where you need to go, especially when it comes to solving problems. Sometimes most people tend to solve a problem by not solving a problem. Maybe that's not the solution. Maybe it's time to, you know, really dig into the toolbox that you were born with, the toolbox that spirit gives you, the intuition, the guidance, you know, knowing. Sometimes it's not about knocking on somebody else's door and saying, well, how do you make this apple pie? You know how to make apple pie. That's just an example. But you know what I'm saying? Don't be creative in your life. Think of new ways and new approaches to do things, even if it's just with yourself. Okay? So we'll put those to the side. I don't want that song in my head, spirit. Get it out of my head. All right, so now we're going to go to the romance angels. So what does Virgo need to know about their love? What are some direct messages? What do they need to know? First card out, release your ex. Express your love. And honeymoon. Okay, so, all right, well, we got that going over here, don't we? All right, so release your ex. So some of you may be in a situation, like I said, you know, I care and love about myself to stop making excuses. My relationships are growing happier and more fulfilling every day. Obviously, if Spirit's telling you right here that you need to release your ex, the time has come to clear your energy. Okay, cool. Thank you, Spirit. You know, thank you for telling us that it's time to clear your energy. Sometimes it's just better to clear your energy from what's been holding you back. And this doesn't necessarily mean that you're in a relationship with somebody right now. It could just be like the ghost of that relationship that you were in, all the problems that you relived. And this could be a fear that's keeping you blocked and stuck and stagnant, you know, with these thoughts in your head. And your relationships around you are mimicking and mirroring, you know, the downfalls that you had in a prior connection with somebody. This could be friendships, it could be family, it could be romance, whatever it is. But, you know, oftentimes when you're in a relationship with someone, a romantic relationship, a marriage, whatever it is, okay, sometimes when that ends or when that connection ends, the aftermath of that, you start seeing things in other relationships in your life, okay? You start to see it manifest in friends because Spirit's trying to, or other connections with jobs or whatever it is, take it as it resonates. Spirit's trying to highlight the lessons that you didn't learn from that relationship. If you start thinking when a relationship ends, your whole world is coming down. Everything's falling apart around you. And that's when you start to see, that other areas of your life that you had problems with in a romantic connection are manifesting, if that makes sense. The messages are coming in very fast. I'm talking very fast, and I'm sorry, but I got to get it out. So you'll start to see that you have a particular relationship with a friend that you don't speak to all the time. Or the minute, if this person's not validating you when you're being successful in your life, and you may have noticed that your spouse was that way, or your boyfriend or girlfriend was that way. So that's a problem that Spirit is highlighting and letting you learn these lessons, because when things get too bad within a relationship, Spirit's going to step in with that tower moment. It's going to blow the two of you apart, because you're not here to suffer in pain. You're here to enjoy life. You're here to be happy. You're here to be abundant. You're here to feel joy. You're not here to be miserable. Nobody's life is here to be miserable. Just because your life is miserable doesn't mean that you've lived a good life or that you've lived a hard life. Stop living a hard life. It doesn't have to be that hard. All right? So learn the lessons that, from releasing an ex, from these types of energy. This could be an ex even from 15 years ago. You could still be holding on to the fact that they cheated on you. You could still be holding on to the fact that somebody rejected you. Let that shit go. All right? Release your ex. Express your love. Okay? Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So if you have somebody on your mind that you're interested in, okay, and you want to be with this person, or, even if it's, making the romantic gesture to yourself if you don't have anybody particular in mind, but if you have somebody in love, listen, we're human, we're meant to love, we're meant to be in a connection, we're meant to be with people. So express your love and make that romantic gesture. A romantic gesture could be, a kiss on the lips. It could be holding someone's hand. It could be, taking things to the next level, having a conversation with somebody and letting them know openly and honestly how you feel about them and what you want to say and where you'd like this connection to go. And if they don't feel that way and that relationship is not going to be growing to be happier and more fulfilling, then stop making excuses for this person. Oh, maybe they're busy, they couldn't call me, or, maybe they didn't get my text. Maybe, people will go crazy making all kinds of excuses as to why somebody's not meeting them halfway. But if you're interested in somebody, don't be afraid. Express your love. Go ahead and make that romantic gesture. And the last card we have here for this deck is Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So Spirit is saying if you release your ex and you express your love, there's going to be a honeymoon. Maybe not a physical honeymoon where there's, like a married couple going on it, but enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Holiday time, it doesn't mean that necessarily there's a holiday coming up. Yes, of course we have Labor Day coming up. If you consider that to be a holiday, we have Christmas coming up. We have Thanksgiving. We have all different types of holidays, but it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. This means a holiday is like a vacation. It's time away from people. It's time away from the everyday, mundane, patterns that we go through every single day. It's enjoying the time together as if the world doesn't exist around you. That's what Spirit is calling for, and could happen possibly if you do release this energy and express your love to this person that you're thinking about, okay? Woo! That was a lot. My computer is like glitching out, and I hope you guys don't see that. I hope it's just on my end. All right, sip of coffee, ready to go on for the last oracle deck that we're going to use. Okay. I have the Oracle of Truth. So for Virgo, please, what would their person like to say to them before I start pulling into the tarot? What does their person have to say to them? I regret lying to you. What else would Virgo's person like to say to them? I know that I crossed the line with you. And what else? I hide behind material things. Okay, so this is definitely a situation that's going on. It may not resonate for everybody. If what I pull from the tarot messages does not resonate with you, then feel free to check out your other birth placements because your messages may be there. Or just hang out and listen. Sometimes, it may not directly involve you. You may not have had somebody that crossed the line with you or lied to you or hiding behind material things, but let me just explain very briefly what this means. I regret lying to you. This person that you're dealing with has a lot of regret about lying to you, whatever they were lying to you about. and that they know that they crossed the line with you. So there must have been some sort of boundary that you had, or some sort of action that they did, or something that they said or didn't do, or whatever it was, crossed the line. And I feel as if, that line has been crossed, and there is a possibility that there's no way of coming back from it. But this person is very well aware of what they were doing, what they did, and how it affected you. So at least that's a start. That's something. Okay. So show me Virgo's energy in love. How is Virgo feeling about love? What does Virgo need to know about love, Spirit, please and thank you? Okay, so we have the Hermit in reverse. We have the Five of Swords in reverse. And we have the Magician. Okay. So the Hermit in reverse is somebody who's a little bit, they're isolated right now, and they're probably thinking about the past, and they're thinking about, they've been repeating past mistakes. So if this person, this could be your energy, it could be the other person, but you may be thinking that, you're repeating past mistakes, and you're very lonely, and you're feeling stuck. With the Five of Swords, you've basically I feel with this, especially with, I know that I crossed the line with you. I feel like this person got caught doing something, or you got caught doing something. And then here we have the Magician card, which is very telling of, I hide behind material things. I feel like there's a certain truth that you want to tell someone. You could be holding on to a connection with someone because of material things. But there's some sort of truth about that. There's some sort of truth that needs to be told. Like, I feel like there's a cycle here that's been happening for quite some time. Okay, but right now, Virgo, you're feeling very lonely. You're feeling isolated. You feel as if you're repeating past mistakes. Like something is happening that's triggering you to think about the past. Okay, and it's kind of like, well, how can I say this? Like you've caught yourself. Like you caught yourself, and you just kind of want peace after it. Like you've caught yourself thinking about, the past, or thinking about cycles and mistakes that have happened in the past. And you've caught yourself thinking about this. Okay. And now you're trying to manifest and pull on all of the resources that you have to try to solve this problem is what I'm hearing. Okay. So clarify the Hermit for me. We have the Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so we'll just start there for right now. All right, so the Hierophant in reverse is, somebody who's not seeking spiritual guidance. Somebody who is not talking about what they're holding inside. Because the Hierophant is a religious card. And if you think about it in the way you can see on the bottom of this deck, there's these two people here. That are sitting in front of the Hierophant. They're priests. Okay, if you've looked at in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, this is what this is. This is a religious person. These are two people that are going to seek guidance from a higher power. Okay, whatever that higher power means to you. It could be a physical priest. It could be a wise counselor. It could be a teacher. It could be anybody. But it's somebody that has some sort of authority. You're having a problem with this. You're having a problem. Going to spirit, going to ask for advice. And this is what I was saying before. Make sure that you go to people that are healthy for advice in your life, and people who, who actually can give you the tools to solve a problem, as opposed to people who are just going to contribute to the problem. So be careful who you're confessing to, okay? When you're in a very lonely state, okay, and you're feeling as if you're repeating past mistakes, we tend to go to the people that existed in that time where we were having these problems, or the people who know the most about these problems. You're not going to get any answers from these people. You're not. Okay? You're just not. Because they see things one way. Yin Yang, are you serious? Can you stop? I'm sorry, my cat's like just going bananas right now. And he's knocking into the camera. So if the camera falls, please forgive me. Come on, go inside. No. You cannot be here right now. Go inside, you wild animal. It's Leo season. He must be triggered by that. He's a cat. Anyway. So as I was saying, yeah. This is like a problem with authority. This is a problem with actually, and this is a thing, right? Where the first card said, I care about myself enough to stop making excuses. So if you go to a person of higher authority, a teacher, somebody who has knowledge that can help you, they're gonna show you, hey, listen, they're going to point out, hey, listen, this is what you did. This is your fault. This is how you contributed to this. And this is a solution to the problem. And sometimes we don't want to hear from those people because we're afraid to move. We're afraid to move forward in our life. We're afraid to hear the answers that we need, that we need. We're afraid to face our truths, even though we know that we should. Okay, so that's what's going on here with that. Spirit, please clarify for me the Five of Swords. What did I just say? The Chariot. Okay? The Chariot. The Five of Swords energy talks about, kind of having a need to be, the way I see it is a need to be right, a need to be able to outsmart people, a need to be able to, have, a fight where you can literally, it's like a fight of the minds. Like who can play the most mind games is how I see the Five of Swords. But the Five of Swords, just because it's in reverse, it's kind of, it speaks about having peace after a fair fight, being fair, okay, and being able to move forward, being able to balance things. The Chariot's about moving. It's about moving forward. Okay, so in order to solve this problem, there needs to be peace. There can't continue to be all these intellectual mind games and trying to outsmart somebody or trying to bully somebody to follow the way that you want them to be, okay? There has to be a peace after a fair fight, because remember, we need to release the control. Release the control that we're having to control an outcome and making peace with things that we can't control, okay? And that's what's going to help to bring you into that forward movement. Clarify for me the Magician, please. What is Virgo trying to manifest here? Six of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So this is about somebody who's struggling. I hide behind material things. So hiding behind material things. What could that mean in this situation? Especially with the making excuses cards, okay? I'm staying in this connection because I don't want to lose money. I'm staying in this connection because I don't want to lose my house, my kids, and my car. Whatever it is, there's definitely a lot of fear here. And that's what's, you want the peace within this fight with this person, because if you don't keep the peace, it's going to get nasty and you're not going to have equal reciprocity. You're not going to have, it's going to be an unbalanced of give and take. Okay, because that's what it is. I'm hiding behind material things. I don't want to come out and say what I really, really want and what I want to happen, or to make the moves I want to happen, because I'm afraid of losing things. Okay, because this is a card that talks about somebody going into debt. But this is also a card that talks about selfishness as well. Okay, selfishness. You may be fearing that this person will be very selfish towards you and keep everything and not be fair with you. Okay, you want things to be fair so that there can be forward movement. Okay? All right. So how is Virgo's person feeling about this connection? How is Virgo's person feeling about this connection? Okay. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse. All right. This person, they've been stalling also. They've been stalling. They've been, kind of having... they have weak boundaries. And when someone has a weak boundary, okay? Anyone can get through. Anyone can be, basically is what I'm hearing is taken advantage of. This person has weak boundaries, and they felt as if they're being taken advantage of, but they're not speaking up about it, okay? Because they've been stalling. They've been stalling releasing this truth and communicating this. They've been stalling things. They've been putting things off. They've been not doing things. And it's almost as if this person's afraid to do things and afraid to move forward and afraid to even do the most mundane tasks, because that suggests time moving on, forward movement. I feel as if this person is literally trying to, I'm picturing someone at the start of a race, and there's all these people behind them waiting to go on this race, and this person is literally doing things to stop everything behind them from moving forward. I hurt my knee, I can't go. Oh, I'm having a heart attack, please call an ambulance. Oh no, I feel fine, maybe I just need some water. This person is literally doing everything that they can to stall. And how that would manifest in the physical realm, in the 5D, or in the 3D rather, would stalling, even the simple things, if you're married to this person, putting your name on the house, or buying cemetery plots, or buying just even making repairs in the house, or doing something that they were supposed to be doing, because it kind of keeps some sort of conversation going. It keeps something to bring you, but to remind you, this is what you need to do. This is what this person needs to be reminded. I don't know if I'm making sense. Please, if it's making sense to you in the comments, please. But this person is doing a lot of stalling. I feel like they make promises that they can't keep. I feel like they do this because they want to keep some sort of hope. They want to just keep you stuck there. Eventually I'll get to it. Eventually I'll do it. And it keeps you waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Even if it's the most simple thing, like taking out the garbage, and then, you tell the person all night long, take out the garbage, take out the garbage, take out the garbage. And then they do it at the very last minute as the garbage truck is basically pulling off down the street. They are running out the door to give the garbage men the garbage. Keep in mind that that's the type of energy that you're dealing with. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm seeing. Is somebody who delays, and as soon as you take off running, this person's going to be right after you. Okay. Clarify the Chariot. Okay. Three of Swords in reverse. The Three of Swords talks about recovering from. It talks about apologies, like I just said. It talks about healing. It talks about, you could be waiting for an apology, recovering after, some sort of surgery, whatever it is. But the Three of Swords talks about recovery. It talks about apologies. So this peace, desiring peace after all of this fights and forward movement and apologies. Okay, that's what's here. That's what Spirit is advising you to do, to have peace after all of these fights and apologize to each other, okay, and be able to, so that you can move forward, okay? Clarify the Six of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is somebody who's very stubborn. Okay, so there could be some very stubborn energy here, and that's what you could be afraid of, Virgo, is when dealing with this person, because they could be extremely stubborn. How is there going to be forward movement and apologies and all this peace and everything like that if this person is very stubborn? It doesn't. It's a knight, so this is also a very slow. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow, moving energy. No matter how you slice it, this energy is going to get there when they feel like getting there, but when they get there, they usually stay. But, this is, and it stays that way. It doesn't mean the person's going to stay okay, I've reached the finish line. You may have already reached the finish line in this race, and you're sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for this person who just keeps stalling and stalling and stalling. However, they're stalling in this situation with the connection. And that very well may be why this person is an ex. why this is the energy that you need to release. Because how long are you going to stand at the finish line, Virgo? How long are you going to stand there waiting when there's so many energies behind this one person that's being stalled, so many things that could be coming towards you as you're standing there waiting at the finish line? So either you cross the finish line and you move forward, okay, because you can't control this person's energy. You can't control how they are. You can't control what they're going to do and when they're going to show up and when they're going to get there and what they're going to do once they get there. You can't control it. Okay? So what is the outcome here for this connection? Because we're already at like 30 minutes. What is the outcome here? I knew it. Okay. Here we go. That's what I thought. Okay. So the world is about completing lessons. It's about completion. So the outcome here is to learn the lessons from this and to close this cycle, to complete this journey, to close the cycle. Okay. Eight of Cups talks about somebody who is walking away. Okay. The Eight of Cups is about somebody who is leaving behind that emotional baggage to go find greener pastures. I'm moving forward. So if you needed an answer about how long you need to wait at this finish line, there it is. Move forward. Okay. Three of Pentacles is an energy that talks about working. Okay. Three of Pentacles talks about teamwork, talks about collaboration, talks about skill. So maybe you need to, collaborate with more people. Maybe you need to, team up with someone to get, some sort of just to build. Okay. This is a card about building something, perfecting it, making it perfect. So this is a card that's saying when you walk away, now you're going to be faced with rebuilding your life, rebuilding and mastering things in your life, mastering your emotions, mastering everything. That's why the Magician is crowning this pile here, okay? Because you have the tools to manifest anything that you want in your life. Okay, you can manifest new love. You can manifest a new job. You can manifest, a new beginning for yourself. Okay, but working on it. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that this person is going to come with you, because from what I'm seeing, they're not. They're taking their slow ass time. They're standing at the start line, and you've already completed that race. You're already at the finish line. You want to move forward peacefully. You want the apologies. And it very well could just be, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but I'm moving on. It could just be very simple as that. And even if you can't get the opportunity to tell this person to their face that this is what you're doing, sometimes we just need to give it off to the universe and go our ways. Okay? So that is what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this helped you in some way. And I just want to let you know, just to further clarify, the King of Pentacles was right after this, and the King of Pentacles is in reverse. So if you were worried about, what this, we have this Knight of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, they're both in reverse. So this energy is definitely not something that's going to be fruitful. It's not, they're not going to catch up to you. They're not going to, they're hiding behind material things. This is what I have to offer. This person may only have material things to offer. Well, I built you a house, so go sit in it and wait in it at the finish line. Or I provide this, or I provide that, or this or that, whatever it is. Okay, but they're not being a king. They're not investing. They're not emotionally invested. They're not physically invested. They're just investing in material things and hoping that that's enough to make you happy. And I'm sorry, Virgo, you got to leave that. You got to close this down. You got to leave that behind. Okay. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for listening. I know that this reading took a little bit longer than most people anticipated, but I appreciate your support. Please, if this reading resonated with you, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I will see you at another reading. Take care, Virgo. Bye-bye.